Good evening, everybody. What's up? Hello. Welcome back to Saturday night. Welcome back to ROM Hack Races. How are you feeling? It's good to see you. In a manner of speaking, make some noise in chat. We have got a really tough one tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty wild. We're all going to have a good time. It is week 293 for ROM Hack Races, and we've got a level from making their ROM Hack Race debut as a maker, Revolug, notable shell master, master of the craft, great player, and Revolug's got a tough one for us tonight. Before I get too far ahead of myself, you know, if you've not been here, if you don't know what you're in for, this is ROM Hack Races. Every single, oh, you had a level already. Excuse me, my bad. I don't know where I read that. Okay, see, I'm already messing up. Jeez, all right, making their second debut, the first time, the second debut, you know, they introduced once, now introduced its second impression. Revolug here with their second level. It is Gentle Touch. And if you don't know what you're in for, if you don't know what you're about to see, this is ROM Hack Races. As I said, every Saturday night we have a fresh, never before seen Super Mario World Kaizo level. These racers they don't know what they're in for. They're just going to have to improvise. It's a challenge of sight reading, working on the fly, figuring things out in the moment. And they are equipped with a little bit of information because we have testers who play the levels behind the scenes every week and give it some difficulty ratings. Man, I can't talk today. Jeez. Difficulty rankings. And they've raked up all the leaves into a pile and collected the numbers. And this week's level, it's got some big numbers. 9 out of 10 for execution. Complexity ranked at 8 out of 10. The racers also know that there are 2 sections, and those 2 sections are rated 5 out of 10 for length. They also know, and this might be no surprise coming from Revolug, that there is some intensive shell tech in this one. And that's something that I am also a big fan of. I know Revolug is as well. We're really going to see some cool stuff here tonight. We have, how many racers do we've got? We've got 8 brave individuals who have signed up to race with us tonight. B2DE, Bunker Games, Ike SMB, Jank Pickle, Lizard 433, Louis Duce, Roke Games, and You Fail Me. And watching all those racers in the scouting booth area, in the comfort of their own homes, in the imaginary scouting booth, we've got Kelgand, Blue Ribbon High Life, Star-Lord, and on the restream as well as scouting, Fen, who is always so kind in helping us out. This week we had, who is it, Gossip Greg, Sulfur X, and RB Pimlico testing this one. And check out Sulfur X's new hack. It's over on SMW Central right now. I am Glitchcat, you are you, and I hope that you're ready for some fun. Say, if you haven't really seen this before, I'm sure a lot of you have, but you know, for those that haven't, I will try to bring you the play-by-play. If you have any questions or you'd like to learn a little bit more about Kaizo or the mechanics involved, please feel free to ask. I'm probably going to screw something up, so please feel free to correct me about things. And, you know, this is a contest of consistency versus one-shots is generally the dynamic going on here. Whether or not the racers can be consistent enough at the parts that they've already learned in order to get deep runs later into the level and figure out something new, or whether or not they're going to one-shot something, figure out an obstacle on their very first, maybe second try, one-shot, two-shot, you know, second debut, but any knowledge is good knowledge. And of course, since the racers don't know what they're in for, just knowing what is going to happen is going to be a huge advantage. But no lead is safe, and we will see how that plays out, whether or not someone's going to be consistent or whether or not someone's going to get a one-shot. 100, wow, yeah. For a one-shot, so I think we've had exactly two one-shots in the history of ROM Hack Races, and one on the GDQ stage a while back from Sojo, I believe, the only one-shot of a Kaizo level on the big stage at GDQ. But that's neither here nor there, and for here, we've got a race for you tonight. B2DE in the upper left, You Fail Me right across, Ike SMB in the lower left, and Jank Pickle getting ready to start us off here. The scouts will let us know if anyone's making progress, and we will rotate people in as they come up. So I hope you're ready to roll. The timer is ready to go, and I hope you're ready to go too. It's week 293, Gentle Touch from Revolug. I wish good fortune on thee. So let's see what we've got here. Now, we're gonna learn very quickly what the gimmick of this level is all about. As per the name of the level, Gentle Touch. So shells. There's a lot to talk about with shells, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot about that tonight. But one thing that you normally can do in Super Mario World is grab shells. Hold the run button, Y or X in this case, and you can grab shells and carry them around with you. Unfortunately, you can't do that here. Grabbing a shell in this level will injure the plumber. They will not survive. They cannot stand touching the shells, so we must apply a gentle touch, activating the shell in another way by just running into it. If you run into an inert shell, one that's just sitting on the ground or whatever, you will be able to knock it around, sort of bump it in any direction. There's a lot of different tricks that can require that, and we're going to see some really interesting setups with these inert shells. I use the terminology, maybe this is foreign or whatever, but I use the terminology active and inactive for shells. So if the shell is just sitting on the ground, it is inactive. If it is moving in its little swirly animation, it is active. And that's important to differentiate between those two types of shell states for a couple of different tricks, as we'll see in a little bit. Now we've also, you might notice that some of the racers are moving on to another section. We've got practice doors in this one. And I believe we are also going to be dropping a clear video before, I think 30 minutes in, we're going to drop a clear video. We don't always do that for ROM hack race levels, but in the case of very difficult ones like this, sometimes, it makes a little bit of sense to drop a clear video and kind of let the players know, hey, this is what you got to do. Normally, like I said, normally it's some sight reading, but we like to, we improvise as well. And, for a tough level like this, we are going to have it clear. So we're here in this nice environment. It's either green or gray, depending on what side of the screen you're looking on. And we got some learning happening on the right-hand side. I think the regular progress is to do the green room first, if I'm not mistaken. But we have some practice doors to kind of let people play later sections. Looks like B2 and Ike are just starting off in the normal area. And gray is for practice as the visual cue. So this might change the dynamic a little bit here. If it did a racer practice the section, or did they just go for it? On the one hand, practice is going to cost you a little bit of time in the overall race, but on the other hand, maybe they'll be able to get a little bit more consistent and be able to pull it off when they need to. So let's take a look here. First off, we got practice going on the right. And Jank maybe trying for a little bit of cheese. But to start it off here in the normal flow of things, B2 and Ike over here on the left. We've got some shells, and obviously they're not grabbing those shells, so they're touching them without holding Y. And since the Y button is also the run button, that's gonna kind of spice things up a little bit because they've got to kind of gauge. They want to be running, they want to run to cross that one tile gap, and they want to be running, holding the run button in the air in order to move a little faster, but they have to sort of strategically release the button as they're about to touch a shell. And that takes a lot of nuance in the controls. So we'll see how that plays out. But the first thing to do here, we've got these pink little, the debate goes on. Is it a foot or is it a smiley face on that triangle? I have always seen smiley face. I get where people are saying foot, but I just don't see it. Pink smiley face triangles, and normally they are to allow Mario to run up a wall here, but these ones in particular will not let you do that because the wall is made out of death blocks. Instead, what they do is bounce the shells. So they sort of act like a little Tony Hawk skateboard ramp, and when the shell hits that pink triangle, it's going to fly up into the air, and that allows them to jump up right and hit the shell in midair. So first things first, you fail me deciding to go for the regular level. Got to knock that shell forward, get a jump off of it, and then they're trying to activate that second shell that's up in the air, which is on the 1F0. You've never heard, no one's ever heard foot? As far as I've heard, this is kind of a debate. At least it used to be on old school internet. I don't know. I've seen this online before. It's been this online debate. Is it a smiley face on that triangle or is it a foot? Do tell us. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is it a foot or a smiley face? Obviously smiley face, but you're welcome to be wrong about that if you want. So yeah, it's a smiley face. I think it's a smiley face. So remember, this level is pretty tough, and these racers are learning as they go. So we've got to build up some consistency at this first part. It might not be the kind of level we're going to be one-shotting all over the place, but a one-shot on any obstacle could be really big knowledge for these racers. So first thing, there's like I said, they're nudging the shell. That's obviously the first step, and then they're going to nudge the second shell that's sitting up on that 1F0, they want to nudge that shell to the left. And when I say nudge, I mean touch the shell without holding Y, because they don't want to grab it in this case. They're going to nudge that shell, and then they're going to bounce on it. Now you're looking at B2DE in the upper left here. Looks like they've kind of got the idea of this obstacle. When you have an active shell, it's moving around, and you jump on it, the shell becomes inactive. And inactive shells retain a little bit of their momentum. So this is a thing that is happening because the shell is rebounding off of one of those pink smiley face triangle watermelons. They are jumping on the second shell in midair, but that makes the shell inactive. But now, because the shell is inactive, it can be nudged again. And so they're bouncing on it, making it inactive, and then that inactive shell floats forward a little bit and gets nudged again back to the left and manages to bounce off of that large pillar of death blocks over there. Louis Duce, what do we got here? This is a brainy one. And we've also got a couple of other things to point out about the level. These nets. We got death. Those are death nets, right? The little red nets that are down there. Yeah, definitely death net. Sprites can pass through, so the shells will be able to pass through that red net, but not the player. Same thing as a death block, except it's not a solid surface. Shells can pass through it. It's a way for the makers to guard certain sections and not allow sprites to move through, but not allow the player to move through. So that second shell's getting bounced, but it looks like Louis might have, it looks like Louis's got another idea here. Pretty clever. Instead of doing the left nudge like B2 is doing, Louis is jumping off of the pink triangle on the left and nudging that shell, letting that shell's trajectory take it all the way over the wall and just moving on by nudging it forward after that. Jank Pickle's still working on that practice, which could pay off. We shall see. I think this is actually a really interesting sort of dichotomy for the race in that, normally it's just the level. But in this case, there's a chance to practice. And I'm actually really curious to see how that's going to play out, whether or not, Jank is going to build some consistency. Louis also working on that consistency as well. The racers know that there are two sections, so we shall see. Right now, it looks like Ike and B2 have definitely got the hang of this first setup. But position really matters. You notice in the normal strats, Ike and B2 both want to nudge that second red shell to the left, and that requires being on the right-hand side. If you think of the shell as a square, right? Everything has like kind of a square hitbox. There's an imaginary line dividing the shell in half, right? And the shell will move in the opposite direction you touch it, right? You're kicking it in that direction. So by hitting it on the right side of that image, they're going to kick it to the left. Obviously, action, reaction. We all know our 7th grade science class here. Yeah, good pin. Yeah, just update from Duck, just so you all know. Gray room is practice. Green room is actually the level. It's interesting to see which racers are kind of opting to practice this and which racers are kind of going for it. I like that. Also, like, how are you? This is going to be a tougher one tonight, so, we got some time to chill. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. If you have things you want to add. But, like, how are you? I hope your Saturday's going well. Thanks for spending a little bit of it with ROM Hack Races. We're gonna have some fun. Kick some shells around. So we can talk a little bit about what's going on in the practice area here. You've got the brown snake block, and that will, as soon as Mario touches the brown blocks, the snake block will activate and start moving. And that snake block will eat all the blocks in its path and follow the line that's being made. So the first thing they want to do in this practice room is nudge one of those shells and get it to touch the on-off blocks. That turns on those blue outlined blocks and it makes them solid. They need the solid blocks because that's what the block snake eats. It eats solid blocks. If the block snake were to run into the outline blocks, those are technically air, and it wouldn't be able to do anything. It would just stop, and they need that to keep moving because they need the brown block snake to eat up the wall on the right-hand side so that the player can actually pass through. Also, opening that on-off switch in the practice room turns the pink block into a not solid block, and that drops another shell from the ceiling. They need that shell to kind of stay in the air, right? Remember, they can't grab them, so they have to keep nudging these shells into the wall in order to keep moving here, or stay alive when there's no pit at all. So one shell forward, opening the on-off block, the other shell falls down, and now we've got a weird little trick. I think I understand what the racers are going for here. The third shell in this practice room, the one nudge one hits the on-off block, the second one falls, they get an easy wall nudge off of that. But then the third one falls directly against the wall on the left-hand side. And what they want to do in that case, at least it seems like what they're all trying for here, because you can't nudge it straight into the wall, you wouldn't hit it. So instead, they're actually going to nudge it to the right. And that gives a little drop midair type of situation where you're nudging the shell to activate it. You can bounce off an active shell, and by touching it in just the right way and falling, gauging your slow fall in the right way, they're able to kind of hit that shell in midair. Looks like Louis Doucet has got the idea. That's a very technical trick to do, and you actually really don't see that a lot in shell levels, but we probably should be seeing it more if everybody's going to get real good at it. Jank Pickle also with the right idea, but keep an eye on that third shell. It looks like they're just kind of like hitting it and falling into oblivion, but what they're trying to do is nudge it and then gauge their slow fall just right so they end up kind of falling onto it as it's moving. Again, active shells you can bounce on, inactive shells can't bounce on. So you have to start the shell moving by touching it, even though it's just falling in the air. A little bit of progress from B2. This is a lot of, which I mean, I'm sure probably a lot of people are aware of, but slow fall. There is a lot of, I guess you could call it throttling or gauging your slow fall. You can be very nuanced with slow fall. Obviously, Mario is falling more slowly in the air if you are holding the jump button than if you are not. If you let go of the jump button, you fall faster. Holding the jump button, you fall slower. You can really use a lot of nuance with that. And you can turn that on at just the right time and just the right moment to affect your position in very, very subtle ways. And that is probably the bulk of what these players are trying to do right now, is use the run and the jump button together to gauge themselves right into the perfect position to get these shells to operate the way they want. Roke here, let's go. Roke Games in the lower left, excuse me. They have definitely got the idea here. Wow, all right. Like to see this. So on the left side here, we got the regular level, and we got those two shells like we mentioned, the off-the-wall left nudge from the second shell, getting that moving. And then that shell, once you nudge it, it's gonna fall down below that red net. It's gonna slide along that 1F0, that silver kind of chain-looking thing. It's going to slide along that, and then eventually it's going to touch the sort of transparent note block that's hanging out down there at the bottom. That is another kind of special block that Mario can't interact with, but sprites can. And in this case, the purpose of that block is to launch the shell up into the air. Because remember, we can't actually grab and throw the object, so it puts the shell up into the air right below Mario's feet, and then I bet you can't guess what we want to do after that. We're going to try to nudge it again. So it looks like Roke here. Roke Games, let's go. Roke in the lower left. Man, really getting the hang of this part. B2 also kind of getting to that transparent note block here. And Roke Games is making some big progress with this. So now that they've got that second shell up in the air, they want to nudge it forward, and that's going to open the way for them by destroying that yellow. It's a breakable block. That's not a vanilla block, but you see that yellow block with the sort of line down the middle of it, the little squiggly line there. That block is broken when a shell hits it, and that's going to allow them to keep moving. You know, it's a very safe assumption in something like this that you always need to do the steps. It might be possible to cheese, who knows? With Louis Doucet on the board, we may see something really remarkable, but You normally want to just sort of do everything the level is telling you to do. And in this case, they need to get another jump, right? There's no ground, there's nowhere to stand here, except for those falling platforms. So the shells are creating those landings for the player. And Roke aims. Roke in the lower left here with the big progress. The other type of block to mention, right next to the transparent note block, you're seeing those little transparent yellow blocks. They're transparent in the middle and they have like a little yellow outline there. Those are sprite solids. Mario can pass through those blocks, but sprites cannot. And that's why when the shell gets to the end of its path, it touches that transparent note block and then it can't move through those yellow sprite solids, so it just gets launched directly up into the air. Otherwise, being an inactive shell, it would retain its momentum and actually arc forward. And the purpose of those yellow blocks is to make sure the shell goes vertical there and gives the player a fair chance to get the next nudge. Louis, look out! Louis Duce making a little bit of progress in the practice area. So who knows, man? This might really... I'm actually really interested to see how this shakes out here, because right now Roke is just ripping through this. I honestly think they have the most progress, but they are going to have to learn how to do the stuff that Louis and Jank are doing in the practice area. So what's it going to be? Is practice going to pay off, or is it going to be someone who just played the level directly? Looks like B2. Yep, getting a shot at that gray falling platform. Those one-way blocks mean that they can only move through that semi-solid in the direction of the arrow. There's some upward ones on the right, some downward ones on the left, and they're gonna have to kind of loop around that area, catch the gray falling platform, and keep going from there. Roke, okay, trying out some practice. This is good. This is a tough one, so buckle up. We're gonna have a bit of a grind. Some nights they're a little easier, some nights they're a little tougher. Personally, I really enjoy letting the makers do what they want. In most cases, it's ROM Hack Races is a celebration of the players, it's a celebration of the makers' unique styles. And in Revolug's case, they're super talented with shells. I've seen their new shell level a little bit. It is just bonkers good. They have played and beaten some of the toughest shell stuff out there. So, this is a nice, very, very on brand, I think, for Revolug, making something super creative and super challenging with shells. Yo, hey, look out. You Fail Me coming in here in the lower right. You Fail Me has decided to just go for the regular area here. Keep in mind, too, 30 minutes, that clear video will be posted. So if there's any confusion about what is actually going on, that will be cleared up. Although the racers are free to not use the clear video. Some do, some don't. It's just sort of an optional thing we have there for racers who might want that for themselves. Looks like Louis is getting pretty consistent. Oh, geez. You Fail Me and Roke here. Oh, geez. Roke Games. Let's go. Making big progress. So you notice the little transparent, there's a wall. Sort of a wall of transparent shell icons hanging out there. Those are another custom block. They will become a shell if Mario, they're not shells, they're just air, but they will become one if Mario is holding the grab button while touching that icon. Normally shell levels involve grabbing and throwing shells, unlike this one, and those icons are used to give Mario a shell while they're flying through the air. The shell doesn't have to be supported by anything. It's not sitting on a block or a 1F0 tile or something. It's just there. You can just grab it right out of the air. In this case, the shells are being used as a wall to ensure that the player does a little bit of a trick there, and they do not want to be holding Y or X in some cases, I guess. The run button, run and grab, are the same button, but they don't want to be holding that as they're crossing over that barrier of outlined shells. Yo, what's up, Bunker Games? In the upper left, coming in here. Working on the real level. I like this little, you're seeing a lot of like, they're switching back and forth. Practice area, real level. Practice area, real level. Louis looks like they're making a ton of progress here in the practice section. They're getting through this snake block obstacle, and they're moving on to something else. It's got a active grab block and another shell, and they're using that active grab block to break through the turn block. That gives them a path forward. Yeah, Louis. So you want to land. Yeah, so Louis getting to that section. They want to jump and they want to land right in the middle, right in between the shell and the grab block, right? And that's going to send the shell to the left and the grab block to the right. The grab block going to the right is going to break open that block, and the shell going to the left is going to be their jump for the next sequence. And then after that, they've got that red shell that pops up in the air, and they want to nudge that obviously into the on-off switch and get that gate opened and presumably keep moving. Yeah, good point too, Greg. Yeah, one of our esteemed testers. That is a good point though. Neutral D-pad, and this is kind of a strange thing in Mario World. But this is an area where I don't have as much expertise in the mechanics. But Mario's horizontal speed isn't consistent. It's actually oscillating just a little bit all the time. By neutraling the D-pad in the air, you are locking in a particular speed. Mario's speed won't change if you are neutral. And that is allowing them to get through some sections because they want to preserve a higher rate of speed. They do that by neutraling as they're jumping through some of these barriers. Louis, yeah. So Louis Douce getting pretty much to that checkpoint, but it's not a real checkpoint because they are in the practice area. But that is going to be some big consistency, and this is definitely a race of consistency here. How quickly can the racers adapt to these really difficult tricks and be consistent enough? Louis thinks they might have a shot here, so this could be dangerous. Is it going to be someone who has spent a lot of time on the first section, or maybe Louis, who has practiced? So Louis going for that weird cheese. I think that'll probably pay off for them, but it might make the angle a little bit more tricky. Yeah. Okay, now Louis has a fine angle for that. As long as they can get high enough up in the air when the red shell is bouncing off the note block, they should have enough angle to get the next nudge. This is definitely a level where, we just gotta let them cook. We got this is a kitchen nightmare. No, it's not a kitchen nightmares. It's an Iron Chef of a thing. We gotta let these racers cook. We gotta let this simmer a little bit, bring it to a boil. But I think it's really, really interesting to watch the consistency develop in real time. More and more. The consistency is really sort of a numbers game. Can you get past this part 5 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10? Higher consistency equals success normally. Again, if anybody has any questions or anything, I know this is kind of flying by really quickly. If you have any questions or you'd like to learn a little bit more, please feel free to just shout it out in chat. Maybe I'm wrong, and Revolug can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but seeing a little bit of Alabama Beach Mouse influence in this one. That really cool shell hack that has definitely raised the bar for shell hacks in general lately, and introduced a couple of new and new-ish kind of tricks and ideas into the shell lexicon that really up the difficulty. And I think one of those is using that neutral shell that's bouncing. once the second red shell in the main section, it's sort of landing on the top of the death block wall, and then it bounces a little bit, and that momentum is enough to get on the right side of it and hook it back left. Seeing a little bit of that beach mouse influence on this one. Bunker Games though, big consistency here. Roke as well. Okay, and now we're caught up. So here we go. This is where it might get interesting. After we do the gray falling platform section, we move into the section that is offered in the practice room, right? And so Roke is getting there now for real in the real level. But are they going to be able to learn that by just getting attempts, or should they go into the practice room and learn that section? Because, you know, time is money in this one, as they say. And, you know, if you're in the practice room, you're getting more attempts at that section per time. If you're not practicing, you have to actually do the run all the way up until that point. So what's it going to be? Is someone who practiced going to get there? Is Roke going to decide to go and practice that? This is really, honestly, this is really interesting to me in terms of just, you know, consistency, one-shots, practice, no practice. Louis Doucet, watch out. Louis is just about to get to the section that they did practice, and we'll see how that plays out for them, because they definitely spent some time. Only 25 minutes in, no checkpoints yet, but geez, they're moving quick. Roke now, yeah, Roke getting there consistently, and that's what they're gonna need. This is a real consistency challenge for this one. But Louis, with that little bit of cheese at the beginning, jumping off that purple triangle, that's such a creative player. Gotta give Louis Doucet props. They're just so endlessly creative. They always seem to find some little detail, some kind of technicality that can cheese a level. I would think so as well, that Louis' strat is a little bit harder than intended. I'm not really sure if it really is or not. I guess that's kind of subjective. You fail me trying for some practice. But you know, one thing that I always try to think about in my own strats and advice I give to people in Kaizo is you have a greater chance of success if you prioritize the strat with the fewest inputs, right? Anytime you press a button, that's a point of failure. You might screw it up. You might mistime the jump. You might mistime your position. You might move wrong. And the more inputs you're doing, the more chances there are for you to screw something up and kind of misalign yourself. So in Louis' case, there are a few extra inputs there. They're landing on the triangle, they're jumping again, and then they have to kind of re-articulate themselves into that fall. Is that going to work in their favor? It's sort of up to their skill, what they can get consistent at quick enough. However, it does prevent the improvisation that's required to get the bounce. The shell bounces off the top of the death wall, and then they kind of have to like eyeball that and gauge their slow fall so that they hit it in the right way. So it eliminates one point of failure while perhaps creating another one. But there it is. Look out, Louis Doucet getting to the part, the big part that they practiced. This was the section from the practice area, and now they have a chance to do it for real. So since they already have some experience with that, they are just going to need to get consistent enough at this first part, because what they want to do is farm attempts. They want to get a lot of attempts at this part, right? Throw attempts at it till it works. Yeah, and we're seeing Louis' strat doesn't always work. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky because they have to get a big jump up onto that triangle. When it works, it looks great, but if it's costing them attempts, that is time in the race that they could be spending, you know, being more consistent, getting farther in. But we do know where that checkpoint is, and it's right after the part that Louis has practiced, so you gotta figure they're trying to run pretty quickly. You fail me working on that. What is the name for that move? Where you're kind of doing a drop midair with the shell up against the wall. I don't know if that trick has a name yet. But you can see it on You Fail Me screen, that third shell that falls. That's a strange one to talk about It sort of goes on the principle of a drop midair. It's called a clam drop in Mario Maker 2. Well, this is SMW. We can name our own things. That sounds weird. I don't know. Why is it called a clam drop? That's strange. There's no clams. I don't know. We can call it a clam drop. That's fine. I'm just being silly. I never have had the pleasure, Finn. I've never had the pleasure. Oh, it's named after the person that made it. Fair. All right, we got that clear video. If you are on the Discord, or if you're interested in just seeing what this looks like, go on over to the ROM Hack Race Discord, and the weekly race chat will have the clear video posted. So if the racers want, they can take a little break, they can look at the video, see what needs to be done, and sort of make a decision from there. Bunker Games looking pretty consistent at that intro. Yeah, looking pretty freaking consistent. They need attempts at that gray platform. Yep, the more deep runs you can get, the greater your chances of success. This one really is a sort of a numbers game of consistency. Look out, Roke Games. Whoa, let's go. First one I've seen to actually get past the clam drop on a real run, not in the practice area. And that is pretty big. So yeah, now it's time to turn on that consistency. Yeah, if Roke can just stay this consistent, they might have a real shot at this. But like the clam drop works on sort of a drop midair principle. And that's a kind of a strange one to explain, but it involves the difference between active and inactive shells, right? If a shell is, let's say, inactive shells can be, active shells are bounced on, inactive shells aren't. But you can nudge a shell and activate it in such a way that Mario is basically overlapping the shell and falling with it. And there's a little bit of a grace period where Mario won't actually touch it because the game tries to be fair to regular players in the normal game. And we can kind of abuse that by falling with the shell. You catch up with it after nudging it and get a bounce on it in midair. Sort of like a midair where you're abusing the fact that the shell and Mario overlap when you turn left to right while you're facing forward. Oh man, Roke, yeah, going for the practice area. Oh, this is really cool. I like this whole practice area thing. This is really neat. It's because it's giving them a chance to just get this trick in isolation, but it doesn't actually get them progress in the real run. Oh, that's really cool. So Roke, yeah. I don't know if Roke is a Mario Maker 2 player or what, but they seem to have really no trouble working with this tech. Roke immediately back again. Oh man, this is nice. Yeah, these practice strats. Wow, this is so interesting to me. These practice strats. What's it gonna be? You know, Louis not going for the practice. They've done their practice. So Louis definitely knows what they want here. They've just got to articulate their jumps correctly. I don't know, that's another phrase of my own invention, but my old guitar teacher always told me to articulate my hands, articulate the notes. And I like to use the phrase articulation to refer to articulating a jump, right? There's a particular trajectory, there's a particular amount of fall. That is all part of articulation. You don't want to mumble your jumps. You want to be very, very well articulated. Louis do say, all right, now we're cooking. The heat's being brought up a little bit. They're bringing out the sauces, and Louis and Roke, both of them getting to the clam drop section. You feel me, working on that practice, and they definitely have the right idea. Roke Games. Oh man, another one past that clam drop. That is a really challenging move. I just want to point that out. The Baron of Consistency hack that Shao made with consistency tricks for shells, that was the hardest part, I think, was doing 10 of those or 15 or 20 of those in a row. That is just a challenging move to do. You have to just nudge the shell just right at just the right moment, and that means jumping correctly through that entire sequence. You really start off that sequence initially, like as you're coming off the first shell, you nudge that shell into the on-offs. That jump is going to determine how the rest of it shakes out. Louis as well, getting back there. Bunker games, yo, don't count them out though. Oh yeah, Bunker making some moves. Louis Duce in the upper right with a great shot at it. Louis, oh, they had it. They had it. They didn't jump quite high enough off of the shell that hit the on-off blocks, but that was pretty good. So Louis is looking pretty dangerous here right now. Getting closer. That was like one jump away from the checkpoint. And the racers do know, and you know as well, there are 2 sections. So keep your eye on that H. You fail me, meanwhile, working on that practice area. That's good though. We'll see how that pays off. No, anybody's game so far. That's a good question. How much consistency would you all go for on a difficult trick like this in the practice room? That's a good question. And I don't know if there's exactly one answer to that. I think it's kind of up to, you know, the individual racer. Do you feel comfortable? You know, do you feel comfortable hitting it? I think there's also sort of the question of how comfortable do you feel getting there over and over again? And here goes Roke. Ooh, nice try. You know, that would also, for me as a racer, that would also kind of factor in if I feel comfortable getting to that part over and over again. If I think that 3 or 4 out of 5 attempts will get me to that part, then I might be willing to be a little less consistent with it because I know I can just get there over and over again. However, if I don't think I can get there 4 out of 5 times, if I only think I'm going to get there 4 out of 10 times or something, then I want to be more consistent with it because those attempts matter more and they're a little bit more rare. So that I think also factors in, is just how often do you think you can get a deep run. I would say ballpark for me personally, 50% or better, I think would feel comfortable, especially if I knew that I could get there, you know, at a reasonable clip. I honestly think, just in thinking about that question, for me at least personally, that matters more, is how often can I get there. I will tolerate less consistency if I can get there more, and I want more consistency if I get there rarely. I think that's a pretty, at least, you know, I don't know about the rest of these racers, but a decent answer, at least for me. Yeah, you want one of those percentages to be in your favor. Both would be great, but one of them needs to be great. You either need to be really consistent at the late part or really consistent at the early part in order to farm attempts. I also think too that since this is a race, that might be affecting players a little bit more differently than if they were just playing this level on their own. You know, if you're not on a timer, you're just doing it for fun, then, you know, whatever you're willing to tolerate, you know, would be fine. Some players don't even want to practice. They just want to get there over and over again. But that can get a little rough. So still anybody's game here. Roke in the lower left, big moves. What are they gonna do? They are schmoving. Ooh, man. Boy, no hesitation going into that blue shell grab block section. They didn't hesitate a bit. Man, they wanted that. You could feel the fire coming off of that one. That was good. Yep, and going back to practice. Yep, splitting their time up a little bit. I think that's a good strat. And you know, sometimes too, you know, and I'm thinking of other, you know, really super tough hacks. I've been playing like Amazing Auto Walk Adventure and stuff. You know, you split your time a little bit. Try some attempts, and then, okay, all right, not getting the attempts, go back to doing the practice. Because ultimately, I think what, at least me, I'm just speaking from my own perspective. I don't mean that like everybody thinks this way, but, you know, ultimately what you want to do is sort of stay fresh, right, on all of the parts. And if you only do grinds from the beginning, even if you feel like, okay, I know this hard trick at the end, I'm gonna get it, if you're not getting there, you know, if you only get there once every couple of minutes, once every 10 minutes, you're gonna get rusty on the later section. So it kind of helps to sort of stay fresh and just kind of freshen up every now and then and be real fresh. And how many more times can I say the word fresh? Yeah, Roke, Yep, they're staying fresh with it. They're a fresh gamer staying fresh. And you too can stay French. I cannot talk. You too can stay fresh with Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Body Wash. Just kidding, it's just mustard. The important thing is to stay French. You gotta keep your skills French. You gotta have a baguette. It's Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Body Wash. It's the body wash you can eat. Hey, this isn't body wash at all. You know, you're taking a shower, you want to have like a hot dog, you have a little snack. Like, oh man, I need to Frenchen up over here, but I'm also kind of hungry for a hot dog. I wish there was a product that would help me do both of these things at once. Well, worry no more. You too will be saying, oh. We have some fun. That'd be funny if like you're out with your friends and you're like, hey, like I gotta hit the restroom real quick and Frenchen up, and they're like, did they mean freshen up? I'm pretty sure they meant freshen up. And then you come out of the restroom with like a beret and like a baguette and be like, oh, mes amis, like, oh no, he did say Frenchen up. Okay, still smells. There are 2 sections here tonight, 5 out of 10 for length. Basically 8 to 9 out of 10 difficulty. Oh, Roke, nice try, nice try. Sorry, I'm still laughing about Frenching up. Roke here, looking sharp on the consistency. This is what's required, Roke Games. Oh! Oh, they nudged that shell a little bit late. Oh, that was a good attempt, though. Bunker Games going back to the practice lab. You fail me, working hard. You fail me, man, a freaking hard worker. You fail me, I think, is one of those players that really wants to get the consistency and get that trick down. They're looking pretty sharp here. They just need that grab block blue shell split obstacle and they will be moving. Here goes Roke for another shot. Ah. Louis Duce in the upper right could be it. Ooh, too soon, too hasty. Meanwhile, Roke, man, right back for another one. Roke Games in the lower left, they could have it. Roke, oh, hoo hoo. I wonder if that lack of hesitation, they could kind of wait, they could hesitate, they could line that moment up a little bit as they jump to split the grab block in the blue shell, but they don't, they just scream right for it. They're screaming. I don't know if they're really screaming. That is just colorful wordplay on my part. Sega Genesis cheat codes, what a play! You fail me, here we go. You fail me in the practice room. Just really looking sharp right now. But Roke with this mad good consistency. They have this first section dialed in. And that is really gonna play into their favor. Because like I said, you want to farm attempts at that ending trick. I keep hearing the checkpoint noise and I'm getting excited, like who'd I miss? Okay, so everybody hitting the lab for a little bit. Yeah, it's the sound of the razors going into the practice room. Yeah, Roke trying to dial that trick in just a little bit better. All about that consistency tonight. Man, Roke looking sharp with that though. Jeez. Jeez, they are looking sharp. If they can, man, I'm really like this. This is a good race. And you know, hey, if you're watching this and you're thinking like, whoa, this is really intimidating, don't you worry. You know, ROM hack races are open to anybody that wants to sign up. Give it a try. You are welcome to. Some weeks are really tough. Some weeks are not as tough. This one in particular is very challenging. But, you know, every week is something different. And we still have, you know, a lot of races to come. Might be more someone else's speed if you're thinking, like, this looks really tough. Don't you worry. There will be some easier ones. We've had some easier ones in the past. Last week's was chill. This one's getting a little spicy. Yeah, this is the first section. 2 sections, rated 5 out of 10 for length. Jeez, dude, Roke over here, just, man. I think what's happening, Roke is missing that red shell nudge. Here goes Louis, though. Louis in the upper right. Ooh, nice try. I think what's happening for Roke, when they hit the turn block with the grab block, that launches the red shell up into the air. In order for the red shell to then contact the on-off blocks on the right side, they need to nudge that shell pretty quickly. And I think sometimes when they're too low, they're nudging that shell a little bit too late. And they want to move forward a little bit in that moment and be a little bit earlier. Because the shell obviously retains its momentum when it's inactive. And yeah, see how when they nudge the shell, it just kind of goes down? I think what they want to do is wait or be a little bit quicker and nudge it just a little bit sooner. Or a little bit higher up, rather. Like that's what they want. They're contacting that floating red shell a little bit too low. And they want to contact it a little bit higher. And that's what they're trying to dial in. But man, they've got that clam drop sorted out. So that is really going to be powerful. You fail me. Is it time? Is it time to go to work? Oh, check. Got me. Heard that checkpoint sound. So Roke, all right, Roke deciding that it is time to get cooking here on Iron Chef, where tonight's ingredient is shells, of course, and fancy yellow body wash. The practice room is not required, but it is very helpful. So how you feeling, chat? Feeling good? Having a nice Saturday night? Hope so. You deserve it. Here we go. Roke Games in the lower left. They practiced. Oof! Oh, ho, ho. Oh, here goes Louis. Louis Duce in the upper right for their try. Missing it. Roke, man, back again. Yeah, they dialed in that consistency again at that first part. Here goes Roke again. Yeah, this is what we want. Yo, Roke needs that consistency. This is all just... How many times can I say the word consistency? Not enough. Louis. Ooh, hey. You fail me as well. Now you fail me. Spent a lot of time in that practice room. So we'll see how that pays off. Looks like everybody. Yeah, Bunker Games as well. Everybody on screen here getting a shot. Getting good shots at the ending sequence from the practice room. Louis, nice try. Here goes Roke in the lower left. Yeah, tonight's level is a particularly challenging one. But, you know, you're watching some of the best players on Earth take this one on, so I have full confidence that we will see the H. We might even hear the H sound for real. Some of the Frenchest racers. Here goes Louis in the upper right. Nope. Nice try. Again, if anybody has any questions or you want to learn a little bit more about the tech, you missed an explanation, feel free to ask. I think at this point everyone's getting it. Roke might be getting it. Roke in the lower left. Nice try. Nice try. Man. Louis Duce in the upper right, taking a minute to think about it. Louis looking great here. Got it. There it is, the H for real. And Louis Duce is going to be the first one at the checkpoint. Well played. Well freaking played. Good job, Louis. Now Louis off and running. Second section, they're not even going for the practice room. There is the H. Looks like Roke, you fail me, probably not too far behind. Bunker Games working hard as well. And there it is. There it is. That trademark Louis Duce style consistency. And it turns out the cheese, worked out for them. So that's nice to see. So second section here, what do we got? We got a nudge, we got more nudging, all right? Still can't grab the shell, that'll hurt. So we got to nudge the shell forward, moves along those sprite solids, and they want to get that on the right-hand side in order to bounce off that wall and make the next jump. They're going to nudge that red shell forward for an additional jump, and then they've got that gray shell that's going to move through the water. Now, those gray shells are specially color-coded in the ROM Hack Race base ROM. There are actually, mysteriously, there are two types of green shells in Super Mario World. There are regular green shells, and then there are Paracoopa green shells. And the difference is that a normal green shell will stop moving after you jump on it one time, but a regular Paracoopa shell takes 2 bounces in order to stop moving. So you can get 2 hits, and then it'll stop. Looks like Louis clearly understands that. Yes, the black blocks are death blocks. You pretty much can't stand anywhere except for the gray falling platforms and the sort of purpley blue ground. That might be, yeah, that might be. Roke is trying to flow right into that blue shell grab block split obstacle, and I think that might be causing a little bit of problems. But then again, maybe that's their style. Maybe they would, and they know that, and they'd be doing worse if they weren't trying to use that strategy in particular. So this is giving Louis time here to build up some consistency on the intro to this second section. Right now is the time where someone's really going to want to catch up to not give Louis too much of a head start on this obstacle. Can we all take a minute to appreciate as well this very chill music? I believe this is Hollow Knight, someone mentioned in chat. Really, really like it. I think in general the community has determined that if it's a really tough level, it should probably have a chill soundtrack, because a really intense music track on a hard level all the time gets really tiresome to listen to, whereas chill music keeps you focused. Yeah, say for unsampled, it's really nice. I mean, unsampled ports can be good, but this one's very nice. So Louis Duce do say out ahead in the upper right, they've got this green shell, and I think they can tell what they want to do. The shell turns green at the end of that, signifying it's on its last bounce. I think they can. I think they can tell what they want out of that section. They want to use it twice to get across the gap, but then they want the inactive shell up against the wall because they're going to nudge it forward and get underneath that ceiling after the water. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think unsampled refers to it uses the vanilla Mario World sound font and doesn't need additional samples and sounds to be loaded in order to sound correct. Yeah, it's just rearranged Mario World music. Aw, shoutouts to pets. The best ones of us all. I hope your pets are doing well tonight. My cat is sleeping in a box. Well, he might be hanging out on the couch now, but he was upside down in a box. He loves boxes. Here goes Roke. Roke, oh man, I was rooting for you. Still am, but I used to too. So interesting, Louis is not even checked out the practice store for this second section. They have not even checked it out. They are just moving right ahead with this. And remember that Louis also wants to not be holding the run button while they cross that barrier of white shell icons. So that's adding a little bit of difficulty into the double bounce that they're doing on that gray shell. Oh, yo, Cosmo the cat sleeping on a shelf? That's iconic. Cats love to be up high and take a nap. Aw, Mallow never sleeps on shelves. He's not really allowed on the shelves. But then none of them really support his weight, but he does like to get up on the dresser. We made a little perch for him by the window, and he jumps up on the dresser and then goes on his window perch so he can look outside and watch the birds that live on the wires. And he loves the birds. There are some birds that are like building a nest in one of our gutters, and we let them stay because we like them and Mallow loves them. He is so excited about those gutter birds. Oh man, they're his best friends. Loves to watch those gutter birds. He gets so excited, he like gets down, his tail twitches, he's looking around. Roke for another try. Roke, oh, they grabbed it. Oh, they accidentally grabbed the shell. Can't hold any shells in this. Gotta give it that gentle touch. Bob Ross style. Just like Bob Ross painting a happy little cloud. Just give it a little tap-a-roo. You know, I'm sorry, little Vicky, but I think I need more instruction than just tappa, tappa, tappa. I always thought tap dancing was really cool, you know? Like, I don't know, like, I just want to get some, like, tap dance shoes and just, like, wear them around. Like, just as regular shoes, you know, just like, your feet are just all like, and that's pretty cool, pretty French. No, I wouldn't slide like mad, that's soap shoes. You seem to have that confused with a different type of footwear. Soap shoes are the shoes you grind with. Yeah, shout outs to the folks that remember soap shoes. I'll tell you what, I was so stoked. My first day of junior high, I showed up wearing my brand new soap shoes. Oh man. I was not the coolest kid in school, but I sure felt like it. That's what my mom said anyway. Yeah, they let you grind like Sonic. Yeah. For those not in the know, soap shoes were popular for like a couple of months in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, 2001 ish era, and they're just like regular shoes, except in the middle they have like this concave plastic pad, and it's sort of like a rollerblade, right? Like in the middle of rollerblades, and the purpose is to grind with them. So you can like just like run along the ground and then jump up and like grind along a bench or down a rail or something. You can look up some old school videos of people doing grinds. It's like the coolest, man. They're like the coolest dude in 2002. I don't even know if it was that. I think it might have been like 2000 actually. Soap shoes came and went in a flash. They were like the coolest thing, and then all of a sudden nobody had them. They were kind of like Heelys with those little wheelie shoes. They were kind of like that, but they didn't have wheels. You know, it was like pre-wheelie shoe days. I still wish I had them. Sometimes I'm walking down the street and I'm like, man, I wish I could grind down that rail right now. If only my shoes weren't stupid regular shoes. I wonder how much a pair of soap shoes is going for. I wonder if you can still get it. Do they still make them? Is there still like a scene? You know, did soap shoeing completely die out, or did it live on? Yeah, you know, I mean, when you're wearing soap shoes, you really had a funky French style. So Louis Duce going for the practice room here. Louis in the lead right now, section 2, and they are using this gray practice room to work on a later part of this level, which I think, you know, is pretty smart. We'll see. They got the intro down to this section, and now they are working on this next part here. Looks to be Louis maybe trying something a little bit different. Yeah, actually, I think this is what they say is Louis is attempting the drop midair. And this is another example of like activating a shell. You're nudging the shell to make it move, and then your angle is in such a way that you fall onto the shell that you just kicked. And since it's active, you can jump on it in midair. It's really a trick of just approaching the shell at the right angle. So you watch where Louis hits that shell. They're hitting it kind of on the left-hand side in the upper corner of that. And that allows them to fall with the shell and abuse that overlap period in order to get the bounce. They need that to, yep, they're gonna pass through the barrier of white shell icons there, and then they need that for, they need the second bounce. Maybe I should watch the clear video. It looks, well, it looks intended. Yeah, it can work. I saw him get past it. Is the intended strat is to nudge it to the left off the wall, because it didn't seem to me like it would actually land on the flat surface if it were nudged to the left, but I guess it would. But it's working out. Ever creative with the cheese, Louis Duce. Yo, what's up? We got B2DE coming in here in the lower right. Roke Games on the left. Louie and Bunker Games up top. 1 hour into this. Yeah, okay, Louie being creative. Yeah, Louie trying a different approach here. But they might have just given up on that. Yeah. We'll see. It's a very wide jump from the cement block to the right-hand side of that shell. It's a really wide horizontal, and so they might be thinking that that's not intended. But then they do have the clear video to reference, so unless they're deliberately not looking at it, which is fair, but unless they're deliberately not looking, they would know what the intended strat is. My guess is that Louie is not looking at the clear video. Some racers just don't, and you know, that's a personal choice. Oh man, Roke. I saw that. Roke Games. Yeah, they feel confident now. Here goes Bunker. All right, so Roke has managed to get to the checkpoint, but in the practice room. And looks like now they're ready to try it out for real. They want to kind of dial that intro back. You spend a little bit of time in the practice room, you might lose consistency at the intro room. So Roke is ready to rock here. They're turning on the burner. They're putting in the chicken nuggets. They're adding a little bit of mustard, turning up the heat. Really putting some chicken nuggets in the skillet there. So I don't know if I've mentioned, but I am. Oh wait, hold up, Roke. For their try. Yeah, look at this. Look at this consistency. Come on, man. All right. Well, Louie's learning. B2's trying hard. Roke is almost there. Bunker Games getting some deep runs. I was gonna say, I am, as a commentator, I know this might not come across in my commentary so much, but as a kid, I was greatly influenced by an announcer by the name of Mike Lang, who used to do the radio broadcasts for the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey team. And I would listen to Mike Lang do the hockey announcement all the time. And I'm not even fooling. I used to be like, oh man, like it'd be so cool to do video games that way. And if any Yinzers are aware of Mike Lang, he's always got these like phrases that he says when something happens, like, get in the fast lane, grandma, the bingo game is ready to roll. But he says it way cooler than me, and I say it stupidly. You know, and so I try to incorporate little silly things like that into my own commentary as sort of an homage. Bubsy 3D, that was a great run there from B2DE. Ah, Bubsy 3D. So nice, Louie, working on this practice area. They just need to get that consistency, and then they're probably gonna be ready to go. Roke, meanwhile. Oh, geez, I'm rooting for him every time. Every time. Oh, Vector Man 2. I realize I'm just saying the name of obscure video games now. That's hardly a funny catchphrase. You're just naming video games. Yeah, so we got any Vector Man fans? Rather play Vector Man than Pepsi Man. Yeah, Louis, definitely working through this practice area, making it work with that drop midair. And then they're getting to this section with 2 red shells situated on those yellow sprite solids. So again, those yellow outline blocks, sprites will bounce off of them, but Mario will pass through them. They're solid only for sprites. Here goes Bunker in the upper left. Nice try. You know, Cool Spot's name is just Spot. The game is called Cool Spot, but the manual clearly refers to you as just Spot. So he's like not cool yet. That's why you have to play the game to collect the cool points. But only 30% of them. Man, Cool Spot was kind of a ripoff of Vector Man, wasn't he? No, see, that's the thing. 30% is plenty cool enough. 30% is enough to rescue your friends. And if that's not cool, I don't know what is. That's kind of a life lesson. I've always thought, you know? Like, if you're 100% cool, you're kind of trying too hard. You know, like, you can get by with just 30%. Like, don't try too hard. You know, you ever see those dudes that try so hard to be cool that they look silly? You know? Like me? You ever see me? I miss video game manuals. I miss them so much. I miss getting the game, going down to Walmart, and then your mom's like, all right, I'll talk to the guy, and then the guy comes over and he opens up the key in the lock, and he opens up the secret video game cabinet, and he takes the game out, and you're like, oh yeah, and then you get that game, and you immediately ruin its collector value by taking it out of its factory seal, and then you get out that nice fresh manual, and you're reading it in the car on the way home, and you're like, oh man, look at all the fun I'm gonna have. And then it shows you like, this is level 1, this is level 2, and then like at the end of the game it's like level 5, and there's a black square and a question mark, and you're like, who's the boss of level 5? The manual didn't tell me. Oh, those are the best days. Best days. And then you just want to, you just wonder, it shows you like some of the items, and it's like, you may find more items on your quest. Try to collect them all, and you're like, oh man, what are those other items gonna be? Simpler times. I maintain that in the modern age, and I don't want to be like a you kids these days kind of thing. I'm happy, you kids these days have it good, better than we had it, enjoy it. But I think in the modern age, as gamers, we've certainly traded mystery for power. Back in the day, we didn't have much power, we weren't that good at the game, and the only people you had to talk to were like Larry in study hall, who also played Vector Man. I knew like 5 people that played video games maybe, and we all had different systems, so there's not a lot of power. You really had to like learn the game on your own with just you and the manual, maybe the strategy guide or whatever. But there was a ton of mystery, right? All that mystery. What could be in level 5? Who knows? No one's ever got there. We don't know, and now we have all the power, but we traded a bit of mystery, right? As soon as the new game comes out, here goes Roke in the lower, oh, excuse me. Roke almost with the try. As soon as the new game comes out, you've already got your big giant YouTubers that had the game for weeks and, just like already made their walkthrough and stuff. And like day one, you can go and look up all the secrets, find all the things. It's like big news when somebody finds something new, that was hidden in the game. Here goes Roke again, trying to get out of here. Lower left-hand corner. Let's go, Roke. Ooh. Ooh. Good try. Good try. I also, yeah, GameWinners.com. Heck yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember me and my buddy, I didn't have the internet, but my buddy did, and it was 56K dial-up, America Online, phone line internet. And you know, I'd go over to his house to use the computer. Hey man, are you home? Can we look up codes on game winners? And you know, wait 10 minutes for a text file of cheat codes to load. Half of them were fake. Try them out, sit around and like print them out, and sit around forever and try to push the rock by the SSN to get Mew. Or very fun old school internet. Find a clip from a cartoon show that we wanted to watch, like a 2-minute clip of something, and think like, oh yeah, this one's gonna be funny, and then we load it up, and then we went outside to play, because it takes 20 minutes, half an hour for the clip to load. It was like a cake in the oven, you know what I mean? Like, all right, we'll pick this 2-minute cartoon clip. Let's come back in half an hour and see if we can watch it. That was real. I know a lot of you lived that too, but for those that didn't, that was real. That's not just like a made up, like phony boomer thing, you know? We lived this. We lived it. Like, oh geez, maybe in 10 minutes the codes will be ready. Like some brownies in the oven. And then your mom picks up the phone. Oh, Bunker, nice try. They got the clam drop though. So hey, you know, we still got a race here. Louis Duce in the upper right, working hard in the practice area for the second section, trying to get these nudges right. Can't grab the shell or else you will die. Learned that on the Game Winners walkthrough. And Bunker, Roke, and B2 working on the first section. But actually, you know, Louis, I mean, for all their work, they're in the practice area, so it won't really count unless they're in the regular green room. I got 2 syllables for you. Ka-za. Yeah, I don't know. Louis, maybe try and, yeah. Louis is very creative and is one to question their strats. And that I think is so important in Kaizo. Try something different. If you keep dying the same way over and over again, try to die in a new way. Try something else, even if it doesn't seem like it's gonna work, even if you tried it before. Louis did try the left nudge, and it kind of like shrugged it off, like, okay, that's not really anything. But they went back to that and tried it again. You always want to be thinking critically, even about stuff you think you know. We got Bunker, Roke, and B2 working hard on this first section. Louis working on the practice section of the second checkpoint. Whoa! Roke, man. I feel for Roke here. They have everything they need to get this going. I wonder if if that lack of hesitation before the blue shell grab block split, I wonder if that isn't kind of working against them a little bit. I think we'll get at least one clear. We do schedule 2 hours for these broadcasts, depending on overtime or whatever. But I think we'll have at least one clear. Again, this is a really particularly difficult ROM hack race level. They are not always this tough, but we do like the makers to just kind of do their own thing. Nice try, Roke. Man, that was so good. I saw that. You know, it's you know, the racers are doing well. We try to celebrate their good plays, and you know, let the makers show their vision. You know, and in this case, you know, a lot of makers, you express your individuality through the kinds of things you make in Kaizo. You express your style and what you like. You know, it's very funky French in that regard. And you know, Revolug is an excellent player and really just a wizard with the shells. So I like this level. I think it seems like the racers are enjoying themselves too. I think this is, I can read fun out of this gameplay here. Hey! Oh, that was so good. Yo, Roke, let's do it. Roke Games, speaking of getting that podium, Roke Games clutching it out, getting the H. That practice paid off, determination. Roke has got it. They are in there, moving on to the second half, and they are going right for it. No practice room yet. Roke is trying to go here. So we could have a race here. I mean, we always have a race. No lead is safe. And technically speaking, Roke and Louis are kind of at the same point. Louis has put a little bit more practice into the next section, but it's just that, it's practice. But there's the orb. Speaking of the podium, Louis, we are looking at the orb on Louis' screen, probably wondering how we're gonna jump up there and get it. And there we go, Roke, yeah, moving into the practice room as well to figure this out. Again, if you're just joining us, the gimmick in this level is that you can't grab the shell. You can't press Y or X. You can't grab the shells out of the air from the white shell icons. Every single shell movement has to be a nudge, or, as the level would indicate, a gentle touch. So in the same way you can get a shell moving by throwing it, you can get a shell moving just by touching it. And that is the main gimmick of this level, with a lot of really creative tech obstacles built right in. I want to give a big thanks again to Revolug for making this level. They one of my personal favorite shell makers. They're the one new level I saw them working on is just bonkers. I'm really excited to play that. And Revolug has made some cool stuff for ROM Hack Races. This is their second debut on ROM Hack Races. They have made another level for us, and they are just a really fantastic player. You can go and follow them over on twitch.tv/Revolug. In fact, why don't you do yourself a favor, because I know we all need a little bit more Kaizo in our Saturday nights, and follow all the racers. There are a ton of people in our community who are working really hard to show off their skills and put on a good show for everybody playing Mario games. So if you see somebody, you know, B2, Louis, Roke, Bunker here, anybody else on screen, drop a follow, drop a sub, go over to their chats, say GG on the race. I'm sure they'd love to hear it. That always feels nice. Louis, all right. So Louis figured out what they want for that final obstacle, letting the shell kind of rebound off the one-way tiles. And oh geez, but it looks like Roke here is also making great progress. So we got some competitive gaming going on. And while we're saying thanks, I want to say a special thanks to Fen for doing the restream and for doing so much for us at ROM Hack Races. Dr. No, as always, working so hard for everybody. I don't know where Doc gets the energy, but working so hard for everybody, making cool races, helping out with the GDQ relay that I'm not allowed to know about, so don't tell me anything, please. And of course, the testers this week, Gossip Greg, Sulfur X, and RB Pimlico, always doing so much. And additionally, Kelgand, who is always helping us out with tech and working behind the scenes to make sure this thing goes smoothly. Amper and Underway, who make the ROM Hack Races base ROM. And of course, scouting tonight, Kelgand, Blue Ribbon High Life, and Starlord, very kind friends. Yeah, you know, I do wonder if that's a real orb or not. That's a good question. You know, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Good call, yeah. I just read that in chat, yeah. Yeah, Max, there it is. If it is a real orb, it doesn't matter because they're gonna fall into the pit and die. Yep. Yep, because it's not a vertical section, so gravity will be in effect. Look at it shining up there, though. Ooh, look at that little shine. Whoa, yo, Louie. Really dialing in this practice part in the second section. B2 and Bunker, though, still working hard. Giving it all they got. And, I mean, you know what they say. That making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all the shells sure would help a lot. Wouldn't it be nice to dig a trench where everybody knows you're French? Come on, that was good. Come on, that was funny. That was a callback. Come on, come on. All right, look, I oversold it. I know. Oh, geez, yeah. I guess if you got here late, then you would have missed the part in the commentary earlier where I mispronounced the word fresh as French. Ugh. I'm trying my best too, you know. Y'all are kind and cool and wonderful, and I really appreciate that. You know, people are spend a little bit of your Saturday night here with us at ROM Hack Races. Drop that follow if you want. We're on YouTube as well if you want to catch the VODs from previous races. And, you know, we have these every Saturday night. But I'm not done yet. There's plenty more to go. We're looking for a clear here. I bet we're going to see it. Here we go. That's a real practice orb. Not a fake one. Man, the concept of a practice orb is just inherently funny here. So, feeling pretty confident, I bet. Louis Duce making their way back to the original section. Now we're going to use that water. We're going to nudge some shells, nudge that gray shell into the water. They are going to get 2 bounces on that while not holding Y as they cross the barrier of shell icons in white. And then they want to get that inactive green shell. It's moving and it's going to get launched up. But there's no wall this time, so the inactive shell is going to be launched forward in an arc, and that is going to move up against the wall, and then they want to kind of do a delayed nudge and nudge it forward so they can get a jump and up to the next section. You know, the real fake practice orb might be good, but it's no Cerveza crystal, I can tell you that. Interesting. Now this is an obstacle Louis hasn't seen before, but they are making a little bit of progress. They've got that blue Koopa. And blue Koopas are kicking Koopas, canonically speaking. They will kick a shell forward or an object, grab block, if one is provided to them. And so they're going to need to get the shell, bop the Kicking Koopa once, get him out of the shell, and then use presumably use the kick to hit the shell into that on-off switch, because they need to open the barrier and drop another shell for use in another trick. What? Oh, practice room, H. I heard the sound. Don't be fooled, though. Don't accept any cheap imitators. Aha, Roke, though. Check it out. Roke Games. Deciding just to go for the run here. A bold move. Yo, Roke, though, looking sharp at this intro in the second section. They've got this green shell obstacle pretty well sorted out already. Yeah, yo, if you're just joining us, the gimmick here is that you cannot grab shells. That's why it's called Gentle Touch. You cannot grab any shells, you must nudge them. And here we go, Louis Du. Okay, now we got the power on. Louis Duce has made it to the part of the level that they practiced. They know, yeah, they know how to do that blue Koopa part. They want to bop that Koopa twice so they can nudge that blue shell. They also want to make sure to bop the blue Kicking Koopa on the right side so that the Kicking Koopa pops out to the left, because the Koopa will fly out on the opposite side that you hit it on, like you're kicking it out, just like in the real world, you know, real world physics. So they want to hit the blue Kicking Koopa on the right-hand side in order to pop the Koopa out to the left, meaning that they can bounce on the Koopa in order to nudge the shell that's next to it. Does that make sense? There's a little bit of progress. Yep, and about to connect those two sections. You got it. Oof, Bunker, nice try. They're getting that clam drop, though. We got about 20 minutes to go in regulation time here, so give us your energy, chat, if you have some, if you're feeling awake. If not, I mean, stay cozy. Don't let me stop you. Don't let anything stop you. Anything. You stay cozy no matter what. But if you have some, lend us your energy. If you're here to cheer on your favorite streamer or racer, put their emotes up in chat. Give them some hype. Let them know that you're here believing. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Some dancing. So, we jiggling or what? B2 in the lower right, deciding that the time is now to go for the real section. Well, this is good. This is a good dance party. I like this. I like this dance. I'll throw one up too. A wiggling. That's a tricky move for Louie to get, you know, do the forward drop from the green shell and then get on to the right of the blue Koopa. That's a tighter move than it looks, for sure. Whoa, looks like Roke, though. Man, I think, honestly, this is a close race. This is a close race because Roke is just not giving up. Their consistency is solid, and they could be a contender, just like Rocky. You know, that famous raccoon? You know, from the movie. Rocky 3, like from the movie where the raccoon beats up that guy. You know, you saw the movie. The raccoon, he beats up the guy in the boxing ring. Yeah. You know that movie where he fought Bullwinkle? Rocky 4? You never saw that one? Oh no, sorry. I'm thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy. My bad. Rocky and Bullwinkle, a great show and a great pinball machine. There, I said it. Rocky and Bullwinkle is a good game. It is good. I'm not listening to the haters. Rocky and Bullwinkle is fun. It was one of the first pinball machines I ever played. When I was a kid, my dad took me down to the arcade and showed me how to play pinball, and we played Rocky and Bullwinkle. I think it's fun. It's a good one, it's fun, it's filled with lots of nice call-outs from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. Addams Family, huh? That's pretty good. You know, I just got a chance to play Addams Family for, like, the first time, actually, back at GDQ in Pittsburgh. D4 and Dwango AC taught me how to play. I like it. It's all right. I'm not the world's biggest Pat Lawler fan. He did design Addams Family, right? But I'm not the world's biggest Pat Lawler fan, but I think Addams Family's all right. It's actually kind of simple once you understand it. It's not. It looks weird and complicated, but it's not that bad. You fill up the mansion, get the lights in the mansion, do some stuff, do the mamushka. You know, say thanks to Thing. It's pretty good. Lord of the Rings with its 1 hour, 2 hour quest for Valinor mode. I can't even fathom that. I saw a YouTube video of someone getting to Valinor mode on Lord of the Rings pinball, and then they immediately deliberately drained once they got there. I'm like, why would you do that? It made me angry. I was raging. You know what, Blue Ribbon? Yes. Yes, I do remember the Addams Family arcade game that vibrated, but it said it was electricity to scare you. Because when I was a kid, unknowingly, happy-go-lucky, joyful little youngster with my bag of quarters going to the arcade at Kennywood, oh boy, what a lovely, bright, sunny, fun day. And ooh, what's this? Addams Family arcade game? Ooh, that sounds spooky and fun. I bet I'm tough and I can handle it. And then I didn't realize it wasn't electricity. And I got shocked, you know? And that's why, I'm not even joking, but that's why I never played Addams Family Pinball, because I just assumed it would electrocute me. I was like kind of scared of that machine after that. I didn't know what would happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a little kid. I didn't know that it wasn't real electricity and I was in no actual danger. I was like, oh my God, like, this machine kills people. And that's why, until the age of 36, I never actually touched an Addams Family pinball, because I'm like, that thing's gonna electrocute me. I know. I'm wise to your tricks, Fester. I was wise. I was wise to his tricks. That's why. That is actually why. I'd never, as a kid, I would never touch Addams Family pinball. Like, no. That one's gonna shock you. It's gonna shock you. Hey, just can't trust Uncle Fester. Speaking of spooky family-based pinball, can I just register with the general populace how annoyed I am with Grandpa's basement mode in the Munsters? I know that's a very specific thing that only a couple of people are gonna get, but the Munsters pinball table has like a little tiny lower playfield where you go down. And holy crap, Roke, oh my word, hold up, Roke Games. What the heck, dude? That was amazing. Roke, okay, whoa, put your eyes in the lower left-hand corner. We're gabbing away about this and that, but Roke, meanwhile, is laser beam focused into this, and they just made a ton of progress. That was a great sight read. I'm pretty sure that was a read. Here goes Louie in the upper right. We're getting some time here. We're getting some good runs. I think we're gonna see some clears. It is Roke and Louie all the way tonight. Oh, Roke did do some practice. All right, well, that was exceptional progress anyway. Roke is determined. Oh my gosh, this consistency. This is what, oh man, this is what races are made out of, is this laser beam focus consistency. Holy cow. But seriously, Grandpa's basement, it's really annoying. It's like a little mini playfield, and you go down and there's a little tiny pinball and like tiny little pretend flippers, and then you flip the little miniature pinball around. And I think that's really annoying, man. I'm here to play pinball. I paid $1 for this game, and you're telling me I get to play with a little marble? Give me a break, dude. And the fact that you activate Grandpa's basement for shooting basically anything, that's annoying. And that's a problem. I don't know, like, oh, not Grandpa's basement again. It is. It's silly. I came here to play big person, grown-up adult pinball. Hey, yo, let's give some shout-outs to B2. B2DE, working really hard tonight. Good work. Good try. You know, it's you coming out, trying your best. That's what we're about here. Win or lose, you know, we're having fun. We're improving our skills. We're trying our best. And that's always commendable. Good job, B2. We got Ike SMB down here in the lower right. Practice section for the first area. And these are, the final 4. Hey, no worries, B2. You tried your best. You'll get it. You have the skills. It takes time. It takes dedication. You did amazing. Everyone here is doing excellent. I only see good players. I have literally never seen a bad player at ROM Hack Races. It is just folks trying their best and working hard to improve our skills and get better at the game. This is a particularly really difficult level for us, so no worries. Yo, give it up by a show of hype emotes. Give it up in chat for Beat 2. Chat, y'all feeling okay? I hope so, because you know, just like they said in Space Jam, you know, wave your hands in the air if you feel fine. We're gonna take it into overtime. Welcome to the Space Jam. You ever actually listen to the lyrics for the Space Jam song? Because if you want to go to the Space Jam, there's like 50 things you have to do. Like, it is a very particular, exclusive thing. No clears yet. Louis Duce and Roke, though, looking real hot on the second section. You know, you gotta like, come on, get up. It's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. You gotta wave your hands in the air if you feel fine. You gotta get out on the floor. You gotta shake your arms around. Like, it's a process, you know? It's like applying for a passport or something if you just want to go to the Space Jam. You gotta earn it, man. If you want to go to the Space Jam, you had better like fill out your paperwork ahead of time. You better show up with those forms in triplicate, man. There's a lot. That's why no one goes, really, because it's time consuming. Like, well, there's a checklist of 40 things I have to do if I want to go to the Space Jam. I mean, let me take a look here. I'm just looking at the lyrics. Like, here's like, according to the lyrics, here's some things you have to do. Here's your chance. You have to do your dance at the Space Jam. You have to come on and slam if you want to jam. You know, party people in the house, we have to go. You know, press that thing and watch me flex. That's a lot to do. To the jams, all in your face. You have to feel the bass. You have to drop it, rock it, down the room. You have to shake it, quake it, space kaboom. You have to work that body and make sure you don't hurt nobody. You have to get wild and loose. Your mind, take this thing into overtime. You have to get on the floor. The DJ has to turn it up. QCD's gotta burn it up. And then you gotta get up again because it's time to slam again. And then you got to do your dance all over again. Then you have to wave your hands in the air if you feel fine. You have to take it into overtime. It's time to get hype. You have to get hype. All the fellas have to say, whoop, there it is. The ladies have to say, whoop, there it is. The fellas have to say, whoop, there it is again. Then you have to run, baby, run. You got to hoop and you have to shoot, baby, shoot. Like, I'm not even done reading the lyrics yet. There's still more. You got to get on the floor and jam. If you see him on the microphone, girl got you in a zone. There's so much going on. You got to break it down. You got to tell them your name. You're the team. They're the coach. You have to dance all night from coast to coast. It's exhausting. It's incredibly exhausting. You ever check out these lyrics? There's more. There's more. You have to say nah, 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 like a couple of times. You have to hear them say, hey, oh, hey. You gotta just take the time to say, hey, oh, hey. You gotta check it out. There's too much, dude. There's too much. There's absolutely too much stuff you gotta do to go to the Space Jam. I was tired by get up on the floor. Man. Roke, though, not tired a bit. Roke Games, holy moly. Holy cow. Roke Games in the lower left, making some big progress here. We don't need that kind of gatekeeping. Ugh. Are you really going to the Space Jam if you don't wave your hands in the air if you feel fine? Imagine. And there's like a whole dedicated fan community that's like, no, no, it's worth it, it's worth it. Maybe you just didn't do the steps right. There are no clears yet. The leaderboard would show no individuals, but it is exclamation leaderboard for future reference. Yeah, no worries. But we're looking at Louis Douce in the upper right and Roke Games in the lower left. They are on the second section, not even practicing. Roke on a great run right now. They are making some big moves. Holy cow, Roke is flying right now. Laser beam focus on this clear. I think we're gonna see it, y'all. I think we are gonna see it. Nine out of 10 for execution, 8 out of 10 for complexity. Rated very hard. This is generally, like I said, this is on the upper end of tough ROM hack race levels. I mean, this one is really taking it into overtime. Welcome to the Space Jam. This is all the steps. And there's even like some conditional steps, you know what I mean? Like if you hear the DJ say this, you must respond this way. Like, man. By the time you get to the Space Jam, you're gonna be too exhausted to do anything. Like what even happens at the Space Jam at this point? We already did all the things. How could there possibly be more to do at the Space Jam? It's like standing in line for 3 hours to go on a 15-minute ride. Not all of us can afford the fast pass, okay? Come on, come on, defend your thesis. Come on, peer review, y'all. The room's askew, so peer review. That's good. Also, I was thinking, break this house into pieces. Come on, defend your thesis. But yours was good too. No, we were both good. We're going to share this, okay? For collaboration. Feet Gennady hack. Oh man, it's silly. Silly stuff here. Silly stuff. Man, here goes Roke again, lower left. Ooh, jeez. Roke wants this, man. I'm just seeing the laser beam focus here. Roke is just like turning on the power. Yeah, they're dialing in every aspect of this, hitting that blue Koopa on the right side, getting those big jumps, controlling their slow fall. Yo, here goes Bunker Games in the upper left. Oh, I wanted that, man. Oh, I was cheering you on. Oh, good try, good try. All right, we are into overtime here, but that's cool. That's all right with me, because we want to see this clear. Could it be Roke? Man, this consistency is just jaw-dropping right now. Roke and Louie both knocking on the door. They've almost completed all the steps in the 2-hour process to apply to join the Space Jam. You know, I think it's really funny that the whole plot, I don't know if there was, let me put it this way. I choose not to acknowledge the existence of any other Space Jams aside from the original. So we're going to pretend like that doesn't exist. And I think it's funny that in the original Space Jam, the whole plot of the aliens was just to kidnap Michael Jordan so that he could lose to kids at their amusement park. That's very funny. That's like very like low stakes, but also high stakes for one person in particular. Very funny to me. You know, they didn't want to like take over the world. They didn't want to destroy humanity or whatever. They just wanted to kidnap Michael Jordan and make him lose to kids. That's funny to me. That's just really, there's some humor in that. I know I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing on the inside where it counts the most. Holy moly, Roke, let's go. Roke with this, oh geez, this consistency. Man. Yeah, man, every other time Roke is just getting back to that gray shell. That's where you sit up and pay attention, that second gray shell. It's funny too that like they wanted specifically Michael Jordan. Like there's plenty of other really good basketball players. You know, maybe some of them would have been really happy to like leave Earth and go like, yeah, sure, totally. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? If aliens showed up and offered me a gig at their amusement park on Mars to lose at Kaizo to kids all day, like, I don't know. I might, you know, like that's kind of cool. I'd be making a consistent salary. I'd be getting to do something I love. I'd be getting to spread the joy of that. I'd go to Mars. Like, there's some perks to that, maybe. You know, like maybe instead of trying to kidnap one guy that doesn't want to go, maybe they could have just scouted some other guy that does want to go. You know, and it all would have worked out, and then we wouldn't have had to play basketball for the fate of Michael Jordan. No, they didn't take a few of them. They stole their talent. They put it into the glowing orb basketball. The small aliens stole their talent, and then they couldn't play basketball anymore. Which is like, if you think about it, like if they could do that in the first place, then why did they even need Michael Jordan at all? Right? Couldn't they have just like stolen his talent and given it to somebody that they knew, and then they could lose to the kids at the end? Did it have to be Michael Jordan in particular? You know what I mean? Like they turned themselves into an all-star basketball team. They were the Monstars after all. That's not a good attraction? Like you're telling me that you have alien technology that can just steal people's talent, and your greatest ambition with that is to just like beat a bunch of cartoon characters at basketball so you can kidnap one guy? That just sounds like a waste of resources. Like there's so many things you could do with that. You could just steal the talent of other people. You could just steal Earth's talent. That'd be funny. That's how we get to Idiocracy. I'm just saying, like, they can steal all the talent. Here goes Roke though. No alien can steal their talent. Listen, I must have watched Space Jam 500 times when I was a kid. I can quote scenes from that. At least I used to be able to when I was in like 5th grade. Me and my friends watched Space Jam forever. I don't even know why. I'm not even really a basketball fan. I'm not a basketball hater, but I'm not really like a sports guy. I'm not even really like a Looney Tunes guy. I have no idea. But between like, what year did Space Jam come out? Between like 1993 and 1996, like all of us dudes were just like infected with this like Space Jam mania. It was everywhere. It was on all the time. It was a phenomenon actually, and we all were really into it. But I wasn't like, oh man, the Looney Tunes, they're my favorite. Michael Jordan, I love basketball. This is the perfect combination of all of my interests. No, it wasn't anything like that. I didn't even care. I do kind of think that's really funny though. That's a concept that should be explored more. The aliens stole their talent. Like that's actually really funny to me. You know what I mean? Like here's these pro basketball players and all of a sudden they just completely suck. Like that's really funny actually. No one can figure out why. It's like, well, I don't know, some alien stole my talent. I can't do it anymore. Like that's funny, man. That's actually quite humorous. Roke, so close. Yo, let's hear it for these racers, man. 2 hours on this level is a big ask, and they are admirably rising to the task. They are coming on and slamming. Yeah, that is a good point, Fen. The difference in technique between Louie and Roke. Roke looking clean. Oh, there it was. I might have jinxed it. I don't want to do that. Oh man, that was good though. That was good. Anytime Roke is just building that consistency. Anytime they get a little farther, they're just dialing that in more and more. That is, I see. I mean, we see the orb. That shiny beetle-looking orb. That round boy. Looks like Roke's technique here is just really tight, really paying off for them in a big way. Okay, here's the thing. I don't really understand why Silksong is like a meme. Is there something? Because I'm not really in the know in the Hollow Knight community. Hold up, Roke though, trying to get in the know, trying to get in the Dr. Know about this obstacle. Oh yeah, excuse me. I think I am. I'm watching on a particular streaming tool that shows me basically the streams in real time. Sorry, I'll try to keep it down. It's been delayed for years with no info. I see. I see. Yeah, Hollow Knight fans love their Hollow Knight. That must be stressful on the devs though, you know? Like, it's obviously delayed for a reason, you know, and the devs are probably trying to make it as good as possible, but could it possibly live up to the hype? You know what I mean? Like, if anything's wrong with it, people are gonna be like, ah, well, it took this long to come out. Not you, of course. Just people. That could explain a lot. Dangerous, dangerous scope creep. Hey, I hear that. It's always really difficult psychologically to follow up a huge hit you made the first time out of the gate. I hear that. That's why Return to Subcon 2 has taken 6 years so far, and it's not even done yet. I can relate. Roke. Ugh. Louis. And Roke just needs a good run here. Roke or Louis. Yo, hey, let's give it up. Yeah, these racers are putting in a lot of work. This is a really, really tough one. Louis, nice try. Yo, thank you so much, B2, for the 45 months. Thank you. All your subs and bits and things go right back into the ROM Hack Race community so we can keep bringing you these races. Thank you very, very much for that. I appreciate that immensely. Louis with the try. Louis do say, oof, a little bit too early. Haha. All right, y'all. I'll tell you, as much as we want to see the clear, we want to try to get the clear. We we're all volunteers, and we scheduled 2 hours, for these broadcasts on Saturdays. We are gonna take it to 2.5 tonight, hoping for a clear. If not, we're gonna raid out, and you'll probably get to see it anyway. Hoping for that. We're gonna see. I think these racers are close. Louis and Roke are both almost there, so we got a timer on now. But I hope you're all feeling well. Thanks for hanging in there with this one. This was tough, but very, very cool. Roke games. Oh, so close. So very close. That was such a good run. Yeah, just wave your hands in the air if you feel believing. We're going to take it into even. But this is some massive skill and determination from these racers tonight, sticking with this level, and some really cool, really tough stuff tonight from Revolug. Well, that's good advice. Don't stop believing. Gotta hold on to that ceiling. Some guy just told you to stop believing and you listen? Oh, not to stop believing. I see, I see. Roke is just, man, got this dialed in so well. Just gotta finish it out here. Nice try, Roke. Again, if y'all have any questions, if you'd like to play this level for yourselves, head on over to romhackraces.com, our official website. You can download this patch and any of the other patches of levels that we've had. You can also jump on our Discord server if you want. You don't have to do all the steps to go to the Space Jam. You can just click the one link and you'll be right there. We have a really cool community, lots of friends if you want to learn a little bit more about Kaizo or hacking, help with a hack you're making with that ROM Hack Race base ROM from Amper and Underway, or just improve your skills, talk shop with the community. We are around on Discord. I was going to say 24/7, but, you know, we do sleep. That is a plus. Yeah, there are enough 1-ups here for everyone. All right, we're hitting a 5-minute warning. Let's give it up for Bunker and Ike, too. Working on the first section for this long. That's determination. It's commendable, to say the least. Bunker Games with a good try at it. Oh, nice try, nice try. Ah, gee. Gee whiz. You know, for what it's worth, racers are still, even, you know, after the broadcast, racers can still keep working on the level, and we have posted some long clear times before, so it is all right. We will get a leaderboard for this one way or another. But we're almost at about 10:30, about 2.5 hours here. So I want to let you know again, just like thank you for being a part of ROM Hack Races. Big, enormous GC7 large-sized shout-outs to the racers for sticking with this one tonight. This is an exceptionally difficult level for what we've had at ROM Hack Races, and I hope it's been fun for everybody. I would recommend, please go and check out the racers. Follow us along on the raid. We're going to head on over. Oh my gosh, Roke, there it was. We're going to head on over. We're going to say hey to Roke Games. We're going to throw the raid over to them. Racers are welcome to keep on playing. You can join us on Discord. romhackraces.com is the website. We will have another level for you on Saturday next week. New creator, new level, new challenges. So drop a follow, come back and see us, or hang out on Discord on the off stream. Thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you again to Fen for hanging out and staying up with us and restreaming. To Gossip Greg, Sulfur X, RB Pimlico, Kelgand, Blue Ribbon High Life, and two Fens I see on the Scout tool for scouting for us this week and for testing the level. Thank you again to Revolug for making this one. And we're gonna get that clear. So hang on over. Yeah, it's not over yet. We're gonna head on over to Roke's channel and we're gonna cheer them on. Also, the racers can turn on their mics and stuff too. So thank you all so much for being a part of this tonight. You matter. Your thoughts matter. Your heart matters. Your feelings matter. You matter to other people in your lives. You matter to me as human beings. You matter to the internet's #1 long boy Furret and the people that matter to you in your lives. We'd love to hear from you about that real quick. We know Black Lives Matter, LGBTQIA+ lives matter, Indigenous lives matter, disabled and autistic lives matter, and you, of course. Thank you for being a part of ROM Hack Races. Keep it cool. Just keep that determination up. Keep hacking. Keep your chin up. And we will see you all next time for another race. Head on over to Roke. We're going to go for a little after party there. See you over there. Peace.